we're gonna do we're gonna do a little techie shit today. Some mechanicals. Just for the hot shot guy. Just for the hot shot guy. That's who I want to see in here more than anybody right there. All my matter. This one for the hot shot guy. We're gonna focus in on the CDL guy. And talk a little bit today. But it also applies to non-CDL guys that choose to run a 3500, such as All Mile Metal. In his situation, perfect choice. In most CDL high shine cases, not the very best choice, but it's a pretty good choice. It's a choice that you see a lot, so it looks very commonplace. But to be honest with you, I gave y'all a game in 2019 as to the ultimate high shot setup. And I seen a few people that gained some notoriety end up going and getting it, even though they ain't even know what to do with it really. But they went and got that 5500. Good afternoon. Good to see each and every one of y'all again. Hey, we out here, bro. I'm on some real shit. Y'all know I stay on something. Y'all want to see what I got going on right now before we just jump into 35 versus 5500 and white horsepower and this, that, and the other, and this, that, and the other. Y'all want to see what I got going on? Hmm? Hmm? Y'all want to see what I got going on? It's sweet. It could. It could go on a hot shot, depending on if you had that 5500 in that appropriate trailer. They said, what we doing? Y'all already know I'm on some more shit. I ain't on the regular everyday run of the mill. Just, hey, I played around with some core. I went back and hollered at some folk that were doing some stuff that they just started back doing again. They were like, hey. And I ain't gonna lie, I've been missing them this week because it been coming up every day, but they ain't been giving me the proper notice. Like if you tell me I got it every day, I make my truck available. I figure out how to get the truck back where it's supposed to be from wherever I send it to that day or wherever I choose to go because it's gonna be in a certain radius. Pay attention, people. That's a gem. It's gonna be in a certain radius. If we can get something going every day the same direction, going the same way every day, we're gonna start working with a radius and we're gonna figure out how to connect the dots and get back. But that's another day, another consultation, another just tidbit of knowledge. If the sound quality is what it needs to be, give me a one in the comment and a thumb up. A thumbs up would do me good right now, cause we out here in it. You see, I ain't like everybody else. They be like, man, I'm gonna make my own spot at the truck stop. Or man, I gotta hurry up and get to the truck stop by a certain time. I ain't got my ass on the truck stop. I am the truck and I stop where I want to stop. We got 23 people in here. Can we get 23 likes on the video? That would be nice. That would be sweet. That would be sweet. That would be sweet right there. I know everybody might not be able to use their finger or they thumb to press the button, but I just got faith that if you're in here, you gotta be in here for a reason. You ain't in here because y'all like me like that. All my Mel, that my friend for life. He probably like me like that, but y'all don't like me like that. Y'all know I got something for y'all. Y'all know I got some game for y'all. All right. So, like I told y'all in previous video, hey, I was just playing. I know y'all got love for me, and I got love for y'all too, because I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't. For real, for real. And I'm kind of tired to be honest with you. Uh, I told somebody last week, man, I don't be working there all like I used to. There's a whole lot of stuff I don't do. I got one 27-foot long, 4-foot top on me at all time, and that's it. And you think it cap? Hold on, let's see. You think it cap? There it go right there. One 4-foot, 27-foot tall. So air protector. I got a towel I'ma give away to the man at the place that do the crane mess, cause he said he use it for exercise purpose. He make something out of it. I got a spare dry just in case on some slick shit. But all my dries, you know, they meaty as a motherfucker. You feel me? But um, these are racks. They some racks, racks on racks on racks. Now, little education on this load for a second before we jump off in the other stuff. Come down here. Boy, I'm glad I ain't bad that trailer down on it. Never. How she look, y'all? It's okay. Man, I feel like every time I look and see how this thing can make money and how it make money and what it can do and how good it done been to me and the choice that I made and the decision when I picked it out amongst the five other trucks that it could have been, why this truck stood out so much from the other one was the mechanicals and the spec. Don't never forget the mechanicals and the spec that we're gonna talk about on that 3500 versus 5500 and why it got less power and the shit sound backwards. Alright, load. They say it's 15K. Now we know we got some scholars up in here. Where is no clever name? Is no clever name? Are you in here, sir? And I gotta do some shout out too, cause y'all in here. Ooh, y'all in the comment. Yay. Going yay yay. Hey, all my matter. Big shout out, my moderator. Big country. Here we go. Yes, sir. Stanley Davis, every time, all the time. Favor and Grace, man, one of my favorite. DeAndre Cook, what's up, baby boy? Three. Hey, hey, Pop. Hey, hey, what's up, Doc? Tall Geese. Man, hey, I'm sliding through hollering at y'all, man. I know it have been a little bit skittish on the video because I've been doing a lot of shadowing. I be kind of wanting to put some of that on live, just let y'all see what the business is. But at the same time, I say that for those who choose to participate. Shameless plug. All right, these are racks. My bottom deck on my trailer is 37 and a half feet long. Top is whatever the rest of it is to make it 48. Give me a thumbs up if you don't feel like doing no mad feeder. But I know the bottom, 37 and a half feet. Exactly. And the top is whatever left to make it 48. But it's a 48 complete total deck. All right. So let's go. They say, they say this is 15,000 pounds. Okay. They say. We finna do some math though, so y'all get ready to bring your calculators out, cause you know I like to educate as well and show y'all some stuff. High shot people, when you put in your load, and if you, especially if you're a CDL man, and you choose to carry 15,000 pounds and can do it efficiently, 5,500, and can do that efficiently with a trailer that rated to partake in that great rear end axle weight rating on that 5,500 and quite possibly a spread axle a spread axle trailer with a dovetail on it. Shout out High Shot Wizard, Gulf Coast, and them boys. MTL Freight, Big Wheel, Big Six Wheel. Man, I don't want to leave nobody out. Shout out Benny. Shout out all the guys that came out and kicked it. We kicked it in Houston, but this ain't 40 feet. Hold up, wait a minute. Wait. This ain't 40 feet. So those of y'all that perhaps partake in the use of the load board to procure your high shaft frame, might you perhaps think that you might want to broaden your search on your load board and also include step decks, low pros, things of that nature, if you could carry those 15,000 pounds? And why wouldn't you be able to do that with the appropriate truck and trailer if you're going to stick with the high shot? Uh, let's play count the straps, y'all. Got one little strap, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we have 13 rows with 4 in each row. So somebody throw that in the calculator for me. It might be 52. Uh, Throw that in the calculator. Four times 13, if you will. Drop that in the comment. Make sure I'm open. And yeah, super chats are still available. 1 hour consultation jumping out. $ JBUTLER 357. Okay, Miss Sexy MS. Okay, check this out. What's up with you, baby doll? Um, Check this out now. Each one of these weigh about 55 pounds apiece. So let's go. Let's do that. Let's do that math on there. 52 of these times about 55, to be honest with y'all. They about 55, 60 pounds a piece. Hey, do that math again. We gonna say they 75 pounds a piece. I'm gonna be all crazy about it. I'm gonna say they 75 pounds. They not though, because when they set these on the truck, they wasn't pushed together like they was supposed to. I was leaning into them and making them push together because I be liking my load to be touching, y'all. You see how they load up there touching? They got a little light 20, but it be touching. Hey, drop that 1 hour consultation. Uh 1 hour consultation in the chat form one time. All mail. I appreciate you. Miss SML, where you at with that real good math and 10 or 2, 3,900. So y'all count like I count, man. Let even if you were to say they weighed 100 pounds apiece, because hold up. I had, hey, am I back with the good sound? Oh yeah. What you say? Can Mississippi can yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. It technically ain't, but it is. It is. You know exactly where I'm at, those Miss Sex MS. That's exactly where they come from. But technically, that matters. Technically, that shit on the line and they on the wrong side of the street, if you know what I mean. Yeah. But they fuck with them big boys over there in Canton, so that's all these people do. But I got these, and like I said, I don't want nobody thinking like no flare going on. Like this ain't metal. Like it's metal, but it ain't. It's dirty. Ugh, that's nasty. I'm saying like the rack is the heavier part now. It ain't no just no bullshit now. That's why I say even to say that these rack things weigh 100 or 150 pounds a piece is kind of pushing it. And the only thing I don't like about this load right here is that the play where I'm bringing it, which is somewhere in there, and we ain't gonna let y'all know what that is, but it's a it's a recycling place that they close pretty early in the day. It's kind of weird. I guess they start off very early in the morning. But as you can see, I am here. That's a lesson in itself. I'm here. Now we finna go back and do what we came to do about this 35, 55 horsepower thing. Cause I had somebody ask me this, and this is the only reason I'm doing it, is because it's a common way of thinking. But like it's just a common way of thinking. Like whatever truck got the more horsepower, That's the truck I want. Like, if it, especially if it's the same kind of truck that basically got the same engine in it, I want the one that got the more power. And on paper, this to me good. Engineers go to school a long time to figure out what I'm finna tell you in basically 30 seconds about this whole thing. In the history of mankind, you cannot beat the mechanical advantage. I don't know who said it, Archimedes. Somebody said if they had a lever long enough, they could move the world. So just keep that in mind while we have this discussion about the 3500 and the 5500 when it comes to leverage, the mechanical advantage, and some things that, like I tell y'all about trucking, that you can't get really from the spreadsheet. It's something that has to be experienced. It like that 2250 torque. Like in real life, that's 2250 foot-pounds of torque running clean and smooth like it's supposed to. But it on paper, it looked like a 600 coming or a 600 Detroit 60 series outmove that 550 cat. I dare you put a 60 series up beside one of them Caterpillars going up the hill. It could be an A model, a B model, or E model. Get what? It gonna be a problem. I'm telling you now. It's gonna be a misunderstanding, especially if the truck gear right and it got a 13 or something anyway. It can split the high side. You might not be able to keep up with that truck for real. And that ain't no cap. Expect that way for a reason. Same thing about 5500. Alright. So we're not gonna talk about the obvious humbug, which is the fact that the rear end can hold more weight. We know that. You need that drive weight advantage for your drive axle because that's what your trailer is sitting on. The drive axle. Oh, okay. Let that be in the background then. The drive axle. So we're not gonna go into that. But we will say as a result of having that better axle back there, you probably end up with some better choices in axle ratios and some very much needed larger brakes and rotors. Okay. But do that. Why does a 5500 have less horsepower than a 3500? Why? And people would be like, that sounds crazy because didn't you just tell me that the reason we want the 5500 because it can pull more weight and it can do more work, but they give it an engine that on paper makes less power. Our mile matter hit about 60% of it on the head right there. It's tuned for longevity. Since they made the truck, they designed the truck to be able to pull heavier stuff for prolonged periods of time because most 5500s are considered from the factory incomplete. Incomplete. Listen to me. If you ever go to the dealership and you about to buy a cab and chassis, I want you to pay attention to the inside of the sticker in the door, especially if it's sitting on the lot without a body on the back of it. If it's a real cab and chassis, you'll notice that the cab and chassis frame is not even like a 3500 frame. See, hold on. And then what people try and cheat it, but you can't cheat the number and you can't cheat the actual mechanical advantage of the size difference in the parts on the truck. See, you'll have some people say it's the same if you just get a 3500 and take the bed off. It's not. From the factory, a 5500 comes like that with a completely flat frame. Let me show you what a completely flat frame looks like. For those that may not know, this is a completely flat frame. Until you get right there, it drops off. But pretty much, that is a completely flat frame. The reason why it's a completely flat frame is that this semi could have been configured as a heavy haul vehicle. This could have been configured as a heavy duty tow truck with a different wheelbase and some more add-on things, maybe a double frame or something like that. But that's the point of a cab and chassis. It's an incomplete truck that they don't know what the end use is going to be, so they build it in a universal way. So it could be a rollback, it could be an ambulance, it could be an ice cream truck, it could be pretty much anything. So when you get ready to fit items like the hitch on there, it's mounted more securely because the frame is larger, the frame is different, the rear end is different. But like our my matter alluded to just a minute ago, the longevity of everything comes into question when we tell people, or when Dodge tell people, or Chevy or Ford tell people, you can pull 30K behind this thing, or 35 on one of these uh medium duty trucks. And they know that if you are sacrificing ride quality, especially unloaded without a trailer, if you're going to sacrifice ride quality like that to go to a 5500 series truck, they know you might try that real number at least one time. If the load paying right and it weigh right at the limit of what you could do, maybe even 1,000 pound more, they know that you bought this series of truck, not a 35, because most people still pulling horse trailers and doing weekend stuff with a 35. They know if you bought a 4,500, 5,500, a 450, or 550, you came to play. They know you came to play. And if you're buying it brand new, it's best to go to a commercial dealership where they got some good warranties on some of this stuff and some fair pricing, because that's what they do every day. But like all my mouth said again, the longevity and the fact that this truck is going to be sustained use in heavy duty applications as far as the factory knows. So everything on this truck that you're going to get for 5500 is basically built for worst case scenario. And worst case scenario is almost overloaded, uh, bigger rear end, bigger bearings, better tires. You probably be upsized to a 19.5 or a 17.5 heavy duty steel wall tire with a heavy duty rim, heavy duty rear end, heavy duty spring pack. Probably have air ride assist on it. More than likely, you'll be able to get an extra tank as a factory option that's placed in the frame. So you'll have two fill up points on the truck, and then you still can add another tank. So options go crazy when you get stuff that's built to be universal like that. So, but when you look at the calibration of an engine and where and when the paper says that the engine makes horsepower and torque as opposed to the amount of work that can be done with the truck, sometimes and in most cases have nothing to do with each other, because it's all based upon the situation of how the truck is tuned and how you read the data. And that's a big part of marketing, and that's a big part of the flex that a whole lot of industry leading manufacturers use to augment reality. We ain't gonna say lie. They augment reality in order to sell a product, or in order to boost the sale of a particular product where the other one is pretty much stable. And I'm gonna say this because they know that a 2500, a 250 can be used for non-CDL high shot. Truth be told. That what you call? Hey man, I ain't say that. Bro said that what you call a lie. I ain't got. They said it, bro. So okay, they know that their segment of 5500 trucks is not a threat in any type of way. 5500, 4500s because there are so many outfitters in the country that are providing the needs of so many other companies that rent these vehicles, use these vehicles, civil projects, the city works, infrastructure of America, and these trucks are meant to be traded out every so often, so they always need new. Most of those trucks are leased. Oil companies, they lease a fleet of 5,500 and buy a fleet of big tech trailers if they think it's gonna save them $20 million this year. Instead of subbing it out, they just pay some people that already work there to do it. Companies doing it all over the place, even big techs. If you ride through Texas right now, you go to one of the big tech dealerships, you'll see it. I ain't gonna even say nothing else. All I know is they got some trucks with some numbers on the side. They're very advantageous to carrying big stacks of trailers, and they got logos on the side of the truck that is vinyl wrapped, and it say Big Tech. They got a fleet of them hoes, and they sitting over there looking sexy too. Y'all think y'all still live off them? Man, them folk finna cut out a lot of shit out, especially inside of Texas. They finna cut a whole lot of that shit short for real, cause they know they gonna save probably 100 million in a year and a half. 5 quarters or some shit like that. They gonna say 100 million. It's crazy. But when you look at the power of a 5500 being down on the power of a 3500, you got to understand that that is truly, I'm telling y'all, it's the same exact engine. It's the same exact engine. The 5500 is just set to fuel in a little bit less quantity at wide open throttle. That's the biggest difference of everything. Because in a diesel engine, you have to have more fuel pressure spraying to provide more boost, to provide acceleration to the crankshaft and the truck in general, but to make the RPMs of the engine rise, you have to continuously add more and more and more fuel. So if the computer stops the fuel, and let's just say about 75 to 80% of what a 3500 would be, the RPMs will never get where a 3500 engine would be, and the power level would never reach that. And some people be like, well, it doesn't matter, it should make the same amount of power all the way up until the fuel cuts out. But you got to understand how horsepower is measured. And see, this all goes into marketing too, because they understand that the relative everyday public do not know how horsepower is calculated, and they do not understand that horsepower in itself is only a mathematical calculation. It cannot be measured. And you buy a Hellcat with the red eye or the demon or whatever, because they say it got 1,000 horsepower. And they tell you about the fact that it got 700, 800 horsepower. Every different version of that car has this little bit more horsepower than the last one. But to be truthful, those are pretty much the same engines, but one is allowed to spin more freely and more high in the RPM range. And I'll tell you why that's relevant. Because the only thing that can truly be measured is torque. That's why I spoke up on the torque of the engine. In that case, the only thing that can really be measured, even on a dyno, engine dyno, or chassis dyno, is the amount of twist that you input into the load cell of the dyno, whether it be a water brake or electric brake or whatever kind of brake you're working against. That's the only thing that's being measured is the torque. And as the RPM increases, the mathematical equation involving the constant of 52 times the amount of cylinders times the RPM over a period of time is how you come to the equation of how much horsepower you get. So if you're looking on the manual of a 2014 Dodge Ram 3500, it may say it makes 420 horsepower, but it says it makes it at 2100 RPM. Whereas the previous generation, which 6.7, may say it only made 375 horsepower, but it only made it at 1800 RPM because they actually got the engine to spin up faster by adding more fuel to the fire on the top end. The only question is, how fast can you make the torque come in and not blow the motor up? And can you carry that number on out to a specific RPM where we could calculate a horsepower number? That's why a Ford will always not only outrun a Dodge, I'm telling you this, it might not be outdoing it at the pulling show, but on flat ground, 3500 versus F350 tuned up, shit, good ass turbo, fucking head studs on both of them, and some hot ass tuning on it. That Ford gonna dust the shit out of that Dodge, and it's just a fact, just simply because the Ford is able to rail to a high RPM, which per revolution of the tire, per mile, per inch of the road, that motor is putting in more work simply because the combustions are happening faster and the net power of the engine at a particular RPM is way more than the Dodge at that particular time because the Dodge can't even attain that RPM because it's a straight six. So what did Dodge do? Make a lot of torque. What they had to do with the Ford, put some strong ass head studs in there from the factory and redo some stuff and get that crazy torque number so they could carry it on up with the RPM. And you almost got a 500 horsepower street truck from the factory. That motherfucker is like 425, 450 horsepower. I don't know who got one. Tell how many horsepower your truck got? You got that sexy one, that black one with the chrome on it. How many horsepower your truck got, Tanner? What they say your shit is, Tanner? Who got that F350, the sexiness, the high ride of the highway? Who got one of them in the comment section? Drop your horsepower number in there. Cause y'all will forever shit on the Dodge that kind of way. Now I ain't gonna even lie, y'all forever do that. Cause they ain't gotta do nothing but turn that motherfucker 25 more RPM, 50 more RPM every year. And that's hey, put a stiffer set of brass springs in that motherfucker and come on back at it again next year. That's what they gonna do. And I ain't mad at them. Have more fun, cause that thing is an absolute rocket ship. When it's done right, therefore, man, you can't mess with it. You can't beat it. Oh yeah, nah, we ain't talking about when hey, all mile mel. Hey, man, y'all gonna be disrespecting no Dodgers up here around all mile mel said caught about twice. Think that's true. And for real though, when they blow, they kaboom, they blow. Gearhead says the 55 has an option for 488 gears. The 3500 does not. Gearing to your advantage. Don't need that much power. Have longevity, light duty, and heavy duty job, in my opinion. Yeah, I would limit that application to something that was gonna do local use and pull heavy a lot as far as what that is. And like I said, all out interstate cruising was not the main concern. If I had a 488, I'll be honest with you, I stop at like a. If I wanted to be super duper aggressive about it, I stop at like a 444. I think Ford got a 444, and I know they got a 411. Uh, that 411 a real good compromise. It is, and but like I say, if I just wanted to push the envelope and really do it for real, if I were gonna get that set up, I'd be so torn between a 410 and a 411 and a 444. If I bought the 410, it wouldn't be long before I put the 444 in there just to mop the floor, as they say. Because I wouldn't be able to run it and not know how that really gonna feel, like what they really do. Because I'd be sitting there doing so much math and calculations on what the RPM chain gonna be and what it might do to my fuel economy. Which the objective on that is, if your RPM go up at a certain speed and you want your RPM to be low, you drop your speed, slow down. Slow down and be in that right lane with that cruise on doing 67. Ain't no harm in sitting in the cruise lane doing 68. Even in a 70, I ain't mad at you. I do it all the time. I come through doing 62 or the 65. They think I'm going crazy. Nah, I'm just letting that cat do what it do. It coming down through here. Sure. You know I ain't burn no fuel coming over here. Y'all look at that. Y'all did the math on that. That's nothing. Load gauge on the truck said well, it was sitting in the spot where it be at 10,000. So I know my load gauge a little off because them ain't that heavy. I move 'em around myself. I'm telling y'all, they ain't that heavy because I ain't grabbing nothing that heavy. Trying to work myself while I'm getting this little taste of money, which it was alright. I ain't even gonna complain. Got a cool spot. And hey, Google Maps, man. Google Earth. Google Earth. Google Earth yourself. Oh my God. For real, y'all ain't lying. Y'all lying. Hell, for real? Tanner, Ray. Oh my God. When I left Ford, oh shit. When I left Ford had, I'm talking about like 350 horse, 370, 320, 6.0, and then that 6.4, it ran good, but it had a glass top end. Them rocker arm you send folk all the way to the po house. Wow. I was I was a transmission man for Chevy for 8 years. Yeah. Network. That's no lie. That's no lie. Allison, Allison is the best transmission, and Ford come the Ford 6 speed. Let me be specific. The diesel 6 speed. It the second best transmission behind a diesel motor beside that goddamn Allison, cause that Allison really ain't nothing but a school bus transmission. I don't know what they told you. That icing ain't nothing but a school bus transmission. It really is. Them, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be real quaint, cause I done drove them. Um, that icing and that Allison, they could be blood fucking brothers. They really could. They really could. They could be blood brothers. The shift strategy, the way it locks and unlocks, and the rapid strategy in which it uses to get the torque converter into the game. As far as the torque converter locking up early as second gear sometimes, it's hard to even ask for a transmission to be any more tight. You know what I mean? Even though they kind of on the Kasumi side, cause like this, like especially when you first build them, they'll put a little they'll put a little black in the pan, but it ain't nothing to be alarmed about. As long as ain't no metal in there, they'll do that for a little while. But once they get in their stride, they bump real hard until they can't really bump no more. They bump through them gears real stiff until they really just they be out of there. And by that time, shit, man, I done seen Ford transmission last. Man, I don't even, man, hold on. That 1 point, what it was, 1 point, whatever million mile Ford F-350, my homeboy I had did the interview with, my Mexican friend from out there in Texas. We had did the interview on the channel. He had 1 point some million mile. That was the same transmission in that thing. He was out here pulling car, man, 2, 3 car hauler, enclosed. Know y'all remember that video. I believe homeboy name was Hector or something to that effect. But at the same time, I had met him. It was my second time running up on him. I had to holler at him that second time to get a video. First time I saw him, I just spoke to him and was looking at the setup. He had the little sleeper made on the back of the F-350, but I ain't know he had no 1.2 or 1.04 million miles, some shit like that. It was a crazy number though. Same turbo, same everything. That boy changed the oil in that truck every 8 to 10,000 miles though on the dot. 7, 8, 10,000 miles. Like 10 too much for him. I think he was doing it every 7 or 8,000 miles. But that was back when stuff was paying really, really, really good, and he was doing enclosed. He ran 2 or 3 of them at a time, and he was really making some money. So get what? He was doing that, and it was paying him back. Cause I know one thing: if he had the truck since it was new, it was a 2015 now, and that was probably 2020 when I did that video. That boy had put 1 million on that same truck. Uh, what's that? Man, never had to care about that truck. Man, that's amazing. First one I ever saw. Yeah, in the truck, all my metal made a perfect point in there too. We always want to keep you on high alert, keep you on high alert for the things that gonna really jack your day up. And a CP4 pump is a worthy question to ask about your investments you finna make or have made. I mean, to be honest with you, we all make investments. We all working this venture thing, and it ain't no big old deal to make a couple stumbles and bumbles, but that's one of them you might want to avoid. That's one of them that gonna do you damage in 2 ways. Well, really three, because you can be by the time it happens, you're probably paying for it by then. It ain't gonna happen in the first little grace period where they'll just swap the truck out and everything go out and it'll be nice and fancy Nancy and everything cool and you just get another truck and do it again. Nah, they ain't gonna do that. It ain't gonna go out like that. What it gonna do, it gonna wait till you start making a little money. Probably about 6, 7 months in, pulling shit, and then it gonna go out on you. Well, hey, with these new trucks, especially if you don't know how to really just run up on the purchasing part of one of them trucks, and you don't deal with a commercial dealer, you know what I'm saying? Especially on the 5500 or something like that, you should deal with a commercial dealer, get some extended warranty going on, some after treatment and all that old good stuff if you can. But if you don't know all that stuff, in 7 months. And especially if you come out and don't got no contacts, you're gonna run like a chicken with your head cut off, do about 10,000 to 12,000 miles a month, you know what I'm saying? And your warranty, especially if you ain't to let it go extended, probably be like 30,000, 60,000 miles. That's gonna be gone in 6 months. That's when the pump go. People think I was playing. Like I told some people this shit 3 years ago, 4 years ago, damn near they were finna buy them truck. They were like, man, I'm gonna get that brand new one. It gonna save money, do this, that shit will put you out of fucking business if you don't know exactly what you buy. It got a good warranty on it. The best warranty you ever had is the warranty you didn't use. I promise y'all. Now, I ain't making it live for my help. I'm trying to help somebody because it's somebody that ain't looking at the total picture and they finna step off in their water. And the shit looks so shallow and cute. This so solid over here. This the shit you been used to doing. It's solid right there. And then you looking over there, like look at all the millions of dollars. All them little rocks right there. Them every one of them rocks is a dollar. You over here, every one of these rock look like a penny. But all these rock look like dollars. You like, I'm gonna jump on up in that water over there. Let me man, shit. I seen all them people on YouTube do that shit. I'm gonna jump, man. I want to go over there. I'm gonna jump off in that water right there. And the first thing you gonna realize, as soon as you jump up in the water, is that shit way deeper than it look. Can you catch the metaphor? When your feet hit the water and you count to 6 Mississippi and your feet still ain't hit the bottom yet, you're gonna realize that's some deep shit you just jumped in. For real. You'll realize that that's some extremely deep shit that you just jumped into. And like I said, I got up this morning about what 4 o'clock. No, I'm lying. About 3:30 this morning. Started looking at some stuff over there in Atlanta. Um, for one of my partners. I was just trying to do a favor because it suck over there on a lot of stuff. And it came to me that, it's a lot of people that having difficulty right now, simply because they were misinformed. There's some people having difficulty right now, and I dare say it, and I ain't on no up high shit. Like it probably because they might not be the ran across the channel for real. I'm saying like some of this stuff, it be like an aha moment. Like poof, your brain be like poof. Certain stuff you hear certain people say it in your life. And I know everybody can relate to this. It's certain stuff that you can remember right now. The person that said it, they might be dead and gone. They might not even be around no more. But it's certain stuff that stick with you when you hear certain people say it. If you can, especially if you can relate to the person. And see, that one thing about me, I don't never want you to feel like I'm not relatable because, and I want to choose my word real carefully because this series, like what it take to do this stuff, not the strapping and all that. The fact that it's on the trailer, the fact that it's on the trailer and it pay somebody do the math on this. 8 825. Yeah, cause that was my second loader. The 825 on 212 mile. 212 mile, 825. But that's why they do right there. And shit, you too can do this shit too. I ain't with all that extra stuff, man. Like I'm finna do, and it's already put together, but I gotta finish it up and go on launch it. But I'm finna do a Patreon, man, and like I want to bring y'all with because these folks that's on the line, they for real. I want to bring y'all with me so we can talk about some stuff I can't talk about on here. The shit that ain't in the spreadsheet and the shit that do matter. And I can't really speak up on it because get what? I done learned about that on here, man. If you want to holler at me, that good money though, 389. I ain't even know, bro. I just know per my pricing model, that's where I should have been on it. It's another commodity that I could have been pulling. And if T Mac on here, he know what I'm talking about. Where they want to try and move some shit the same place for 800. So that $25 less, yeah. But 800, but the shit weigh 47,800 pounds that they want me to move. This shit don't even weigh 10,000. So hey, what's going on? HBCU band talk, man. Let me do some more shout out. Carter, what's up, baby? Yeah, 389, that ain't bad. And then the pickup for this was right by my house. Like it was less than 12, about 12 miles. Yeah, about 12 miles. Yeah, I tell people, all my metal said just like this, y'all. He was talking to Outlaw Stain. He said I also have a 68 RFE. I had one built by ATS and I hated it. I went back to a regular 68. Billy converter is a killer 68. That factory, let's see, that's the killer of the 68, the factory converter. Billet is money. Love the 6A with the billet converter. And that was my upgrade of choice. Um, I did I did billet toy converter with a twin disc. I ain't want to do the triple. I ain't think I was gonna need all that. But I did the billet toy converter. Um, and I did the thermostat bypass on that transmission line. I put that block in there that takes that fucking check valve spring deal out of there that make the transmission warm up to operating temperature as it should, you know. But at the same time it warms up a lot slowly, but it doesn't have to recover as far so the overall temperature, running temperature, all that stuff, take that restriction out that line and let it flow. That was good right there. I saw my transmission temps drop a lot with that, especially while towing. But that billet torque converter and really that right there with a slight line pressure increase on the tune, it really all that transmission need. What my transmission man up in there? My transmission man know I ain't lying. More transmission people, companies, all that shit that do transmission. The number one thing they get wrong in transmission is the shield quality because they try and make it so aggressive so you always know that this is a performance transmission. If you build transmission and it's not a double clutch transmission, you already know that in between the gear, as the gear come unlock, and when they come, I mean the clutch will come unlock and the clutch is locked together again, and the drum clamp down on everything with the piston. It's a time where you get that momentary slip. That momentary slip. So get what happened? What they want to do? Jam a whole lot of line pressure in it. What they start doing? Breaking planetaries and cages. So what they start putting in there? Billet planetaries and cages. Then they start breaking main shaft. What they start doing? 300 M shafts and all that. But get what they doing? They shocking the transmission. They shocking the drive line. The shit really unnecessary, man. It don't take all that to build a transmission that grab. Well, man, get what? As long as the shift is quick, it can be baby soft. I ain't gotta feel it long as it's a light switch. Long as that motherfucker is a light switch. It ain't got to be kick me in the ass hard. But that what most transmission people get it twisted. But then that's what most people think is performance for real though. When it change out, do the tire go skirt? Oh man, when we was man back in the day, I'm gonna tell y'all back in the day, I used to work on a lot of people's vehicles in my neighborhood and in the town in general. Even before I started working at the dealership, my granddad had an auto body shop. I had been doing that type stuff. I worked with my uncle Mag. He showed me a lot of stuff, and I had started just experimenting on little cars. I bought my first little car when I was goddamn 14. Had my first little car, and I was working on it and trying to soup it up. I want to be fast and the furious. But get what I was doing though? I was hustling because I was working on the other guy car that actually was hustling. I was younger, and them guys were in the street, and I found out how to make cars go faster without just spending a lot of money. Like the difference between the regular setup in your car and the police package setup in the car and the difference in the programs. I knew that shit when I was 14. You know what I'm saying? So I've been doing a long time. And let's see. What our main thing was, we didn't care, man. I'm telling you, people didn't know. I knew better, but we had a fantastic transmission guy. He probably built 5 or 6 transmissions for me in the town. Rest in peace, Otis Khan. He was a great guy. He was old dude. He worked for TCI for like 20 years. If y'all know TCI transmission, Ashland, Mississippi, where that was at. He worked there for like 20 years building transmissions. And when he retired from there, he had his own transmission shop in Greenwood, Mississippi. Shout out OJ the Jew, man, over there singing country music in Nashville. His son right now, that's my partner right there. Y'all better not fuck with him either. And shit, uh, Big Otis, as we call him, he built transmission, and One thing I learned when I first started hanging around this guy because I needed a transmission built. When I first started hanging around the guy, the first thing I asked him about getting a transmission built was, I'm young. I want to go fast. I'm just sorry. I'm young. That's why teenagers be getting hurt in car wrecks because they want to see what the car do. So I got a car. I need some transmission work. I kind of just want some transmission work. Man, I'm gonna tell y'all, it wasn't none. Listen to me good. I was silly. I was getting some money. I was getting some money and I was silly. I had a car with a perfectly good running transmission in it. Listen to me good, gearhead. Perfectly good running transmission in it. I'm reading books, did before social media. I'm reading magazines. I'm going to the grocery store. I'm buying magazines out the rack like they going out of style. I'm reading everything about everything about everything about everything. I'm an 80s baby, man. I was before social media. So get what? Hey, I'm seeing all this shit from Monster Transmission, Eat My Shield. Anybody shout out Eat My Shield with that bullshit. TCI, B&M, Holly them going crazy. Uh Elder Brock, everything. Oh man, it was the day. So like I'm looking at all this shit in these books, like okay, so then make your car fast. Okay, if your transmission going good, it could be better because it shift harder. It make the car go faster. I'm stupid. I don't know no better. I'm thinking that make the car faster. It might make it quicker in a quarter mile, but who's doing that with a Delta 880 mobile anyway? But I digress. Man, Monster played everybody, bro. That shit was like that, that shit was repackaged trash in a box, man. I think they were buying all the defective shit from companies like B&M and TCI, all the return cores and rebuilding that shit and throwing it right back out the door. But anyway, I get a whole that's a lot. I get a whole let me see, I get a whole $430 something dollars, a whole $430, y'all. And I said, man, did $430 because internet just came out. I'm on the internet, y'all. Like internet, it ain't just come out, but it was just getting real mainstream. So you really had to be sitting in front of the computer with it plugged into the phone line at the time. All that Wi-Fi shit, it wasn't none of that. And it was slow as molasses. So for to get on the internet and fill up a shopping cart with something and you got about 10 parts, that shit took like 2 hours, bro. Just load up all that shit, get your shopping cart full, and get to the checkout point. You 2 hours in, bro. So this shit was dedication. I was dedicated. Hey, I was dedicated, y'all. Hey, so get what? I'm all dedicated on the computer. Oh man, I do. Yeah, man. Yeah. We got a few good racetracks down here. Cornelius, for real. We got a few good racetracks. But anyway, I said I'm gonna buy this $430 worth of stuff, and the old mobile gonna stay sideways. This motherfucker ain't gonna never be straight. Look, watch. I'm this how you hype yourself up. Look, watch. Get what? Hey, I'd have ordered that half-inch boot valve, that 500 boot valve. Go ahead, correct me if I'm wrong, and I can't be lying because I so spent the money. I got that half-inch boot valve. I got that, what they call that Spec Monte Carlo SS, because it was a 200 R4 transmission. Get that Spec Monte Carlo SS 2200 style, it a light style. You ain't even know it unless you had the exhaust on it. Little light style, that 2200 Monte Carlo SS style in there. Put that in there. And what it was, that B&M stage 2 shift kit. Well, you take them now all the balls out the goddamn valve body. Fuck them balls. Get ahead. Get ahead. We bumped line pressure sky high and pulled the goddamn adjuster cable at the top all the way to the last notch at the back, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Get ahead. It don't get too much more aggressive than that, but come on, man. So, out about all this stuff. this is what I'm thinking now. Like I'm just my dreams of grandeur. Now I'm finna do all that, and I'm finna pull that goddamn adjustment till you can't even pull it no more. I'm gonna be changing out a third gear at 5,500. I'm gonna be changing out third gear at 40 miles an hour. Like I just know I'm finna turn up, and my little 307 Oldsmobile with no work whatsoever is gonna be a motherfucking beast. I'm just knowing this shit, y'all. Man, thumbs up if I can tell a story a little bit. So I'm just knowing this shit finna work out great. Okay. I buy all this shit. Now, mind you, I ain't consulted with Big Otis at all. I ain't asked this man nothing. This man been building transmission way before I was born. The man probably built a transmission before my mama was born at the time. Yeah, man, and yeah, I thought my first gear change out was gonna be so fine that everybody just forget I ain't got the car painted yet. You know what I'm saying? I can just go whoop, stuck, and change out so hard that you forget about the fact that man, that car kind of need a paint job on it. He gonna get some rims. Yeah, yeah, the rims coming soon, but boy, that motherfucker know it sound like it running, but it ain't moving like it right. But anyway, okay, so I get the stuff, and then when I learned something very valuable the day I walked up in that man's driveway. I walked past his transmission mailbox. Like, I'm so stupid, y'all. You sometimes you look back at your youth and be like, I'm so retarded. I done spent my $435 on this all this shit. I'm finna go crazy. This bitch finna go ham. I walk up in the yard and say, Mr. Oda, you remember I was telling you the other day? I was thinking about ordering some parts and stuff, and you were telling me, you know, hey, boy, what you want to stall for? You ain't camming and all that stuff to need all that. That stall ain't gonna do nothing but, heat the transmission up and provide a little more slip. And what you stalling up for? And what's that shift kit for? You can't drink your morning coffee. You can't ride around with your old lady with that stage two. What you want to buy that for? Yeah, Mr. Otis, all that stuff you told me, that right there. I went and bought all that shit, Mr. Otis. So like how much you charge for me to put, for to put it in? You know, how much you charge to put it in? So he get the parts and he start looking at them. Now this shit legit now. Now I done went to Monster.com. Y'all not gonna tell me Monster wasn't the shit. Eat my shift. You're not gonna tell me that. So I done went to Monster.com. I done got all this shit. Hey man, I done went to O'Reilly Auto Part and bought the finest remanufactured 2200 style bullshit torque converter I could find. The finest. I'm telling you, boy. And then I got two jacks and no jack stands, and I'm dropping the transmission myself. Mr. Otis ain't gotta do nothing but build it. I got all that other stuff. I'll do everything, yeah. So I'm knowing this shit finna be 555. And I done went so far here, it took a while to get something in the mail after you did all that internet order and stuff. I done pulled the transmission out, shit. I was really at home with the transmission, you know what I'm saying? On the goddamn ground, start unscrewing shit out there in the gravel and everything. Looking at me, y'all. I'm so retarded. You think about it. How retarded is that? I'm out there with a transmission on the gravel, like out here, finna start opening up the inside, start playing with shit inside the inside of the transmission out here on this. I'm so retarded, y'all. So retarded. But anyway, I holler at Mr. Otis. Mr. Otis said, how hard shit stupid. How hard you wanted to shift? Cause I about like it's a stage three kit, but it's really a stage two kit combination that they used to make where you could just really eliminate two balls and use a different side drill bit on the fucking valve by the separator plate and drill a hole out just a little bit more than it was, and it really be a stage 3 kit. So it was like a combination. Yeah, really high hard. It was like tailor your shift. That's what they were saying. They had a couple different springs and some more shit going on where you could go in there and just, oh man, you manipulating, boy. I was on some high stakes tuning shit, boy. Eat my shift. You feel me? So I brought, he like, how hard you want the shift? I'm like, I want the shift real hard, real hard. Hey, I hope he doing. Hey, yeah. Last time I hollered at him, he was doing good. I lost thing, bruh. Hey, okay. So, I want to share. Man, Mr. Khan, last name Khan, Mr. Khan. OJ still sitting over there. My homeboy, his son, his name, Otis too, but we call him OJ. He's sitting over there in the corner, just looking at me, shaking his head like, man, that boy right here. So, hey, I'm like, Mr. Khan, I want to share real hard, like real. I'm talking real hard. I'm talking real hard, bro. And he was like, "You sure?" I was like, "Man, I'm sure, Mr. Khan. You know this your every." He trying to talk me out of it, yeah. Like, this your everyday car, right? I ain't peeping nothing. I'm in the days I've been reading these books, man. Sort of like what people be doing with their YouTube shit, where you just keep listening to people that really don't fit your situation, really ain't got your best interest at heart. They really some salesmen in disguise. It got me to spend $435. Now that I look back on it, I hear about people that have paid $20,000 to meet certain people to talk to them about shit like trucking. You know what I'm saying? 20 motherfucking $1,000. You know what I'm saying? I feel like my 435 was just enough where I could have a good ass story with y'all without feeling like a complete asshole. Now, if I gave somebody 20 grand, you know what I'm saying, just to meet them and fuck off and talk a little truck and shit and jack out with her for a second and get on down. I don't know. But anyway, not on the subject. So I say I want that thing turned to the max. I ain't even tell him. I didn't get look, I hid that part because I could see the disgust in his eyes. He was fucked up about what I did. So he like, okay, I can do that. Um and we had talked about a price and everything. And I just to rebuild the transmission, the man hit me a deal. Now listen to this good. Rebuild the transmission, all new clutch and everything back factory like it's supposed to be. I take the transmission, I put it back in, but I bring him the transmission. He rebuild it. I'm talking about take it down, put it pressure wash it, clean it, put it in the heat tank, all that shit. Magnaflux, check the case, retap all the holes, clean out all, chase all the threads. The man ain't cutting out one corner. It all new races in this motherfucker. Every bushing in that bit, brand goddamn new, y'all, for $375. Did this the price to just, man, have a really, really good last 20 more years transmission in your car. And I'm like, I want that bitch to shift hard as a motherfucker, Mr. Gun. I'm crunk. I want this bitch going crazy. I want this thing to just lose its mind when it changes out. Because my whole objective is, and when that motherfucker go from first to second, I got to get that skirt. I don't give a damn if I am going 3 miles an hour and that motherfucker change out from first to second. It got to go. It got to. It got. It got to. So, Mr. Khan said, "All right. Um, what I tell you about what 375 for to do it that other way? Yeah. Okay, it's gonna be about 700 because I gotta do a little bit more to it. And I know he the best, but I ain't know that he was the best at showing me something without me knowing he was showing me something. Man told me just like that, gonna be $700, Big Daddy. And you bring the transmission in the morning, and you come back and get it at 6 o'clock that night. I'm like, well, damn, wait a minute. Hey, appreciate that, all my man. I'm most definitely Saturday morning. I'm gonna be this Saturday. I'm gonna actually be doing something for the guys out of Georgia. I'm gonna meet them down in South Mississippi. I ain't gonna let that cat out the bag, but at the same time, I appreciate that will be going towards that, man. Anybody that want to contribute, man, the super chats are on. They live, man. Good ass story, like lesson right here though. All right, so get what he told me. It gonna be 700. Consultation jumping out too. Dollar sign JBUTLER 357. If you are new to the live, man, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We got 34 people up in here. Can we get our likes up? If you ain't put a thumbs up there, do it for me. Do it for me. Don't be doing that now. Don't act like that now. Yeah, I be out here on some real shit. Don't act like that now. But anyway, he tell me, hey, it went from 375 to 700. And this still with me taking the transmission out, which I had already took out, and you know, putting it back up. So like basically the price had double. Basically. Basically the price had double. So I was getting a little money. So I was like, man, all I could think about this motherfucker be shifting so hard. Ooh, and you know how we think back then when I was evolved as I am now, boy, these niggas gonna hate this motherfucker. Boy, when I cut through them, they gonna hate this bitch. Ah, this motherfucker, they gonna hate this motherfucker. This what you be saying. When your mind ain't where it's supposed to be in life, you ain't mature to the level that you might ought to be. You give a damn what people think about a lot of shit. And when you do certain shit, you be like, boy, they gonna hate this motherfucker, boy. I like the Peterbilt. I was never like, hey, ooh, they gon' hate. Nah, they gonna love this. That bugs and all. They gonna love this. She's cute. She, she, she's a fucking looker. She's a looker. But he told me I'm $700. I come back and I'm gonna tell you this story don't end no better than where we at right now. Check this shit out. Okay, I went home. It was evening time when we had that conversation. I handed him 500 right then and there. I had him 500. I said, that enough for you to get started on it. I'm gonna bring it around here first thing in the morning. Little do he know the transmission laying on a piece of cardboard up under my old mobile in my yard. It's already out ready to slide out and whatever I got to do. Said bomb away, get a truck, come get it, take it over there to him. He ain't stable like 3 miles away from me. It was a real close spot. Take it over there. Give it to him. It's about. It can't be bruh. Hey, appreciate your head. Now, it can't be no later than 8 in the morning when I pulled up in his driveway and got out carrying this 200 train. I ain't even waited till the man came outside, let the garage door up, got the two-wheel dolly, that got the strap that hold this shit vertical. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that, Vic. Now, I ain't waiting on none of this. I'm ready to be snatching, man. I'm just immature. I'm immature and impatient. And just a lesson about the hot shot shit, man. You gotta have some maturity about this shit because there's some big stakes involved. And I'm gonna show you how this shit got out of hand with the transmission job. Okay, dropped it off. He come outside. Like I was so impatient. I ready to just leave it. Appreciate that deal, Mr. Richards. Appreciate that, brother. Now I'm so impatient. I'm ready to just leave the transmission in the man driveway. It clear day and just get back in the car whenever he wake up and come outside. He just see the transmission. He know what's going on. And then I got all the parts in a bag. I was gonna leave the transmission with the bag right beside me. I was setting myself up for a robbery, y'all, for just a theft. I'm stupid. I'm sorry, but this how I'm feeling because I'm so ready to have this bitch going skirt when it changes out. It gotta go skirt. So all right, he come outside. He didn't have cameras, but I believe bro was a veteran. I believe he had been to Vietnam, so he sleep light. So basically, when we encroached upon his goddamn property, he had a gun and everything when he came outside. Man, had gun and everything. So, hey, boy, you get up early, don't you? I said, yes, sir. I was just trying to make sure I was the first thing you see this morning, so we can go and get this out the way. You told me I can come back and get it at 6, right? Hey, man, I'm asking, this man ain't even, the man ain't brushed his teeth yet. And I'm asking him if I still can come back and get this transmission that he ain't even looked at yet back at 6. You said you said 6. So I'm asking you, can I still come back and get this at 6? He's like, oh yeah, it be done way for 6, but yeah, you come back by 6. I like it be done way for 6. But how much before 6 you think that'll be done then? He was like, it's hard to tell, but he ain't really want to give me no answer. Okay, Dale. I see you, bro, on that one-on-one consultation, bro. I see you, bro. I got you too. So Mr. Khan, he was like, I ain't gonna just give you no time, but it'll be sometime after 12. So, okay, he ain't want to lie to me. I'm trying to make the man just give me a time. I'm on some demon shit. I'm trying to really strong on this dude to be like, man, it'll be ready at 2 o'clock, and then I come back at 2 o'clock. I ain't finna say nothing out the way, but I'll be like, I thought you said it was gonna be ready at 2 o'clock. So I'm trying to get the car, 'cause I know as soon as I get transmission going back in the car, immediately, I already get what? I already got the torque converter full of fluid at the house and don't even know what kind of fluid that man finna put in my transmission. I'm so stupid, y'all. Listen to me now. You got, man, if folk buying trucks, man, that don't know what trucks do. It's a folk finna go out here and buy that brand new GLC that run off gas, man, and think that shit gonna do what it say on, man, on, no, okay. Watch this. Next time you pull up in the truck stop in the next 6 months, if you do hot shot or you drive big truck, watch and see. Don't you see somebody pull up with that heavy duty 3500 GLC with that gas motor in it, quiet as a church mouth, and gonna tell you how good that motherfucker is. That the first thing gonna come out their mouth, how good it is, how the gas mileage is, how it's still the same as diesel. And I'm gonna tell you just like anybody else tell you, ain't nothing like the real thing. Ain't nothing like the real thing now. Man, I was doing the most, bro. I'm trying to be everything I could be in my hood mentality as I could be, bro. I was like trying to be all I could be, just being me, bro. I was really having fun, enjoying myself. But that was back when you could really enjoy yourself. It wasn't no whole lot of killing. It was a bunch of fucking killing. I'm not gonna act like it wasn't, but it just it seemed like it had a little bit more merit, if you want to call it that. And it seemed like back then it was a little more cause and effect where you could almost be like, well, so and so did so and so, so we know something bad's about to happen. Now it's just like, what the baby had to do with it? Or what like, yeah, it got bad now, bro. It's fucked up. That gas motor be dead at 200,000 miles. I don't think it's gonna last that long, all my mouth. To be honest with you, with everyday heavy use in a CDL capacity, especially when people don't know no better, and they'll get that right there in the 3500, and they'll actually act like it's a cab and chassis, man, and get that and take the bed off of it. They'll get a max effort trailer, kind of like the one you got, on my metal. They'll go get that goddamn diamond seat that rated for about 25, 30,000 fucking pounds with air ride, the lift, and all that shit, and put it on the back of that gas motor and go to Washington State, like with no thoughts. And it's a brand new motor, and you bedding the motor in, going up a mountain, pulling like 27, 28,000 gross. 39, 40,000 gross with some people that trying to make it really do what it do. Shit. If I got a trailer and the manufacturer said, hey, I'm going in. If the manufacturer say I could do it and I spend my money, you think I ain't gonna do it? But they didn't tell you how long you could do it, and the warranty should let you know some, man. Warranty went from 100,000 miles on a motor probably 15 years ago to 50,000 miles to 30,000 miles. They really don't even want to give you that now, especially on the new turnover release year where they changed a lot of stuff and put 10 speeds and shit before they ready. And CP4 truck that was running perfectly damn good with a CP3, just trying to compete with the competition and get the fuel pressure up and on in there earlier so they can claim a high torque number, which leads to a high horsepower number. They could have just altered the tune and did that shit. Same old motor they been had. but they couldn't get no more power out of it and still keep the same fuel economy EPA number. So that's the conundrum. Now you got to sacrifice reliability by putting roller tappets, roller lifters in the motor. You got to go in there and change the valves up, change geometry on stuff that didn't need change, that was working very, very good, and made the shit more complex with more parts that can break. That's why I said burn the oil bad at 100K victory, and they're for real. They gonna burn oil bad. You gotta think about it. When you load a motor that heavy, especially a motor that's a V. Now the straight six ain't that bad because them cylinders in a row, because they meant to tow. But at the same time, they in a row to where they put the same force nominally on the cylinder wall, left to right. But if you look at a V8, gravity, force, and what they call piston speed gonna create a groove in that wall, man. You can't stop that. You can't really stop that. The only way you can stop that is to change the angle of the motor. But as long as that thing sitting in a V that's in a 90-degree configuration like that, a V8 in a 90-degree configuration like that, you can't stop it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think gas trucks are good for local work. They good for like cab and chassis box trucks on some local shit, and it's gonna save a lot of money. And like say it ain't meant to tow heavy or long distance like crazy. So you don't need no after treatment and all that old shit like that. But now they phasing in after treatment on gas systems now. So y'all look out for that. Whatever Europe does, we'll be doing soon. And they already done got that new Mercedes. Uh, Boy, they hurt my heart with that shit. But they canceled some shit and they done took the bite out that new Mercedes. But anyway, uh, so Mr. Khan, take my transmission. I'm talking about clean that bit from the rooter to the tutor, did the whole process. He bored whatever hole in that plate to whatever it's supposed to be, and then hit it one more time for good measure. Shit, he took 3 out of the 4 check balls out of there. I don't know what that mean, but he told me that what he did. He dead and gone, and then what I'm gonna stick with what he said. He put that 500 boot valve in there. He rebuilt the pump. I put that 13 vein pump rotor in there, high performing rotor in there that was hardened. Everything I bought, I put the input shaft and the stator support was billet, was 300M cryogenically hardened. I had spent a little money, you know what I'm saying? But that last little bot was about 4 something. But of course, I spent some money. Got my little and I ain't bring him the torque converter because he still don't know I'm finna stall up, baby. I'm finna do all that gravy shit. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm finna put them 22s on there. And they're like 2001. So 2001, hey, 22, 2001, man, 22 was so big. Hold up. 2001, 22 look like this, y'all. I swear for Lord. 22 look like they were 18 wheeler rim. 22 look that damn big, y'all. We talking dumb shit. We talk, boy, hey, I'm talking about, man, we were acting some whole Negroes out there. Niggas under the car doing push-ups and shit under them 22s, y'all. Niggas on the car, oh, steps on the car, oh, a donkey. My cousin come out of Baptown, a road master. Boy had the road master in the line. Hey, got R.I.P. Days Wild had the road master in the line with them step bars up on it. Cuzzo come through on 23 with Jordan in the back window like this. Don't get mad at me because I grew up when it was fun. Shit, y'all can't have no fun no more. Y'all go outside, you get shot now. I'm sorry. That shit bad to say, but your ass go outside, stay too long, you might get your ass blasted right by now. In a lot of places in America, it's hard for kids to have fun. It's sad to say. But anyway, Must come built the shit out that transmission, got it back to me. Uh, you know, I was fortunate I was getting a little money. I had a cell phone. My grandma helped me get a cell phone for Sprint. The bill was sky motherfucking high, y'all. Hey, hey, shout out to anybody else had a Sprint phone and would be glad if they just go out of business. Fuck Sprint. But anyway, he called my phone. They got the same number that I still got right now. He called the same number and he was like, Butler. Your transmission ready?" I said, "All right, Mr. Khan, I'll be over there in no time." Like I told you, he stayed 3 miles away. So hell, I got I got in another car and with my homeboy. Cause he ready to be on the passenger seat while I do these ridiculous one wheel donuts. Cause I ain't have power trash. I'm finna do some ridiculous one wheel burnouts and donuts. And my partner, he's so ready to ride shotgun with me. Shout out Desire. He's so ready to slide with me. Shit, he done pulled up in the Crown Vic and did a baby burnout in front of my house. Like, come on, let's go get it, bro. So we go jump in the car, we go get it. So I come back. It probably like 5 o'clock in the evening by that time. I'm chilling on one. I done laid out, I got up under there, I done put the transmission in. Boy, I'm so crunk. I am so motherfucking hype. I done double check, triple check, everything. When I say I done check everything 5 times, I done adjusted the transmission shift cable per owner manual specification about the GM service book. Fuck shifting. We were doing it out the service manual. Back then, I was doing that service man. Get what? Got everything straight. It probably 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. I got them 40 series up under that road mouse and the flow mouse coming out each manifold separate. I done crunk up on the did cold start on the navel by 2:30 in the morning. I'm just knowing this shit finna be amazing. Okay. I do my little test lap. And I know just because, you got to fill up all the shit inside the transmission with fluid that you're going to shift it back and forth, part of the reverse, the neutral drive, all through the little low gears and shit while you sit still, try to fill up all the goddamn accumulators and all that good shit. Then you check the fluid and then you top it off. And then you ready to go on your ride. You check for leak first, then you going to go for your ride. Man, get what? Listen to me good, y'all. I pulled out of the driveway on Sky Street. And mind you, the car ain't parts trash. It really ain't just too happy about burning rubber, but it will. It ain't nothing spectacular, but it will. And I'm just gonna go around the block. So I'm gonna make basically three, one, two, three rights and come back to my house. One whole block. That's what I'm finna do. So I get out the driveway. Um I made it about 300 feet and it shifted from first to second. And it says skirt. And everybody in the comment section be like, oh shit, that what we were looking for. Skirt. When I tell you, y'all, it felt like somebody slapped me in the back of my head. It shift so hard, y'all. Listen to me good. Hold up. I'm at like 1/3 throttle. And I'm like, this shit got to be gonna loosen up. This gonna loosen up. I'm trying to be optimistic. I'm like, this is oh Lord, oh my God, this is oh wow, this is um damn. That what $435 get you? Yeah, back at '01, that shit cost 1,500 now, y'all. Y'all go look this shit up. This shit 1,500 now. That shit was $400 back then. Listen to me. I said, I know damn well. I know damn well. I know damn well this okay. Them some brand new clutches. I got some excuses. Them some brand new clutches. They got to shave that little first little scuff off of them, and we're gonna change the fluid. But until then, it gonna shift a little bit abruptly. Yeah, it did victory lap, but in a bad way though. Like shit ain't pod trash, bro. That shit just was stupid. It was bad. It was bad. It was bad. 'Cause I wasn't trying to, bro. Like this bitch was actually unsafe, bro. It was unsafe. It was unsafe, bro. I'm telling you, like this bitch is dry ground, do that shit like that. But in the rain, you couldn't drive that car, man. It was fucked up. Like I wrecked the car in the rain. Man, okay. Anyway, man, I had to bring that car back twice, man. It just was unpredictable. It wasn't power traction. One wheel will break loose sometime, the other one will break loose the other time, depending on how you got the wheel turned. That bitch will spin you like a top. It was unpredictable. That car wasn't set up right. I believe the front end alignment and the whole car was fucked up like from the beginning. I believe something was wrong with that car, but it wasn't very controllable. So I'm like, okay, I'ma do 500 miles right quick. Cause he told me don't run it that hard. He said don't run it that hard. I don't know what that hard really is, but he said don't run it that hard. But for the first 500 miles, and then we gonna change the fluid, look at it, and if anything need to happen, we'll worry about it then. He a good transmission man. He's standing behind his rebuild and all his work and everything. So that's refreshing. But get what? I'm like, I'm gonna do these 500 miles today, and then I'm gonna go back to his house tomorrow. Man, now y'all know damn well that man they think that if I tell somebody try to car 500 miles for the break in, drive it normal, don't do nothing crazy in it, and then bring it back to me, he knows that he probably got a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, depending on how it's just your second car or not, before he see you again. And here I am Sunday evening. Man don't even work on Sunday. Here I am back at the dude house because me and his son straight, for real straight. Here I am back at his house with my car, ready to pull up on the lift so he can check my transmission fluid at 3:30 on a Sunday evening. Cause I done ran these 500 miles overnight. I put transmission in Friday night, came out Saturday morning, and drove goddamn me to Aberdeen and back, all the way across to cross 82 to Greenville, touch Lakeville, Arkansas, drove all the way back across 82, went to Starville, and came back to Greenwood, Mississippi in the same day for no damn reason at all. Just burning up money, gas was 87 cents, and I ain't give a shit. Shout out for gas being 87 fucking cent. Wow. And get what, y'all? He looked at me like I was a damn fool. First of all, he was like, "Man, I you." He was confused. You did 500 miles already? Where you went? I said I really did like nine, like 800 miles. Cause I done went all these places I just named, and then I came back and I still riding around cause I was on the grind all the time. When I did all that river run, I came back. I stayed up for like another 5 or 6 hours just blocking around town. It was like 2 in the morning. I was just blocking. I'm riding around blocking, playing my music real low with the flow master going blup, 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 doing about 20 miles an hour in the town. Come back over there and holler at him. Man, that was a good dude. He reluctantly dropped the pan. That man pulled me up on the lift, dropped the pan, checked the fluid, had a little clutch material in it. He said, "Look like you did a pretty good job. I don't see no metal or nothing crazy going on. I'm finna we're gonna dump this fluid. We're gonna replenish it with your fluids you're gonna be running. And you just put plain fluid in it. Don't be running all that crazy shit. I had ordered some special fluid and poured it in the in the torque converter. And that shit was B&M, it was blue. And he could tell because it had turned his transmission fluid purple instead of red. That blue and that red make a little purple. And he know I had that shit in there. I had that shit on, y'all. I was trying to make that thing snap hard, so I got the special transmission fluid because they said the transmission fluid make the car go faster too. Hey, turn around. He changed it, put it back in there. When I finally crushed that car to start the business that turned into this right here, that car still never was safe. It was never nothing I could take my girlfriend in. It was never nothing that when I rode in it, I could be completely comfortable. It was everything that man knew it was gonna be, and a couple more worse things because the car got me locked up a couple times. It got me locked up a couple times. I swear it did because I'm in control of the car, but I ain't in control of the valve body in this fucking transmission that man done built that say eat my shift every time it shift, regardless if the police sitting right there or not. I'm talking about at a quarter throttle. You can't keep tires on the car because every time it go first, second gear, it go. So coming through a school zone at 15 miles an hour as you should, and that motherfucker change out with them flow mounts and go. Oh, they put the lights on your ass, especially they think you got that other shit in the car with you. Hmm. That sound like probable cause, don't it? Hmm. I digress. Like I said this morning, man, if it's some way that a person that has experienced something can help you by you just paying attention and taking heed and looking at the mistakes of others where you don't make the same one they made, I encourage you to do that on a daily basis. Just evaluate what you're doing. That if it ain't going right, see a way that you can make it right by starting with what you can change first, and that's yourself. If it's a whole lot of stuff that ain't going right and it always around you, and it seems like every time you get involved with something, some stuff just happen for some reason and it just don't go right. One or two things. Maybe it ain't just for you, or maybe you just need to reevaluate how you approaching these situations and what type of attitudes you got. Like I tell you, this stuff right here, 95% mental. The reason I'm sitting right here and not at the truck stop ain't got nothing to do with them being lazy and me not being lazy. It's the mindset. This shit is a vibe. This shit is how like it's a lifestyle for real, for real. It's not anything that doesn't come naturally. Why? Because I was in the hot shot. Pulling right up in this driveway now. Man, shit crazy. It happen all the time. But I was in the hot shot pulling up in this same driveway and I slept right here 3 years ago. And I got pictures of it. I'm putting in the community. I got pictures. I was sitting right here in front of this place where I'm at right now. It's about the fact that I know that they're going to pay me in the morning to take a load of styrofoam roofing insulation 157 miles for $1,000. And I'm going to be 45 minutes from my house. And then I'm gonna go holler at Jerry Wiggin because I'm finna park this big bastard till I see my homeboy Monday morning. And get what? I might do something Saturday. It just depend on if I see some daylight on some crane mess or something that I can boop boop right quick, make $800,000, $700, something like that, real quick with the leftover fuel on my hair because I went and put like I think I got 85 gallons onto what I had. I had over a quarter tank in each tank, plus 85 more gallons, which the quarter tanks are gonna take me on my run tomorrow, including the deadhead to get there. And that 85 gallons gonna take me that 45 minute back down to the house. So I have well over a quarter tank in each tank Saturday morning or the next time I go somewhere. So we chilling when it comes to this fuel. But man, it's been good. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Long live. Hey, y'all already know. If you can learn something you didn't know yesterday that can help your tomorrow be better, hey man, do that. And you already know what I say about a hater and it, man. Peace.